Hello, everybody. Um, Here for part two. About that part two of Wallace Thurman's "The Black of the Berry," and we're continuing on from our page 22. So far, um, this main character Malou has moved to, I believe, the University of California, something like that, and has ran into this lady named Hazel Mason. And just before that, she is searching for friends, trying to find black friends, and trying to find that best group and try to assimilate there. So far, it's she's ran into a few people, ran into Hazel, um, but so far she hasn't reached where she wanted to go. So, and recently we were at a point where she ran into these people from the pharmacy building, and they show their own form of perhaps disapproval. But now we see that she is finding another lady who happens to be a black woman, and she's just sitting on her lonesome, and she decides to try to interact. So we'll see how that happens. All right, let's continue. Then Emmylou saw a solitary Negro girl seated on a stone bench. It did not take her a second to decide what to do. Here was her chance. She will make friends with this girl, and should she happen to be a new student, they could become friends and together find their way into the inner circle of those colored students who really mattered. Emma Lou was essentially a snob. She had absorbed this trait from the very people who had sought to exclude her from their presence. All of her life, she had heard talk of the right sort of people and of the people who really mattered. And from these phrases, she had formed a mental image of those to whom they applied. Hazel Mason most certainly could not be included in either of these categories. Hazel was just a vulgar little nigger from the from down south. It was her kind who, when they came north, made it hard for the colored people already resident there. It was her kind who knew nothing of the social niceties or the polite conventions. In her own home, they had been only used only to coarse work and coarser manners, and they had been forbidden the chance to have intimate contacts in school and in public with white people from whom they might absorb some semblance of culture. When they did come north and get a chance to go to white schools, white theaters, and white libraries, they were too used to them to appreciate what they were getting and could be expected to contribute their old way of life in an environment where such a way was decidedly out of place. Emmylou was determined to become associated with only with those people who really mattered. Northerners, like herself, or superior Southerners, if there were any, who were different from whites only insofar as skin color was concerned. This girl, to whom she was now about to introduce herself, was the type of girl she had in mind: genteel, well and tastily dressed, and not ugly. Good morning. Alma Martin looked up from the book she was reading, gulped in surprise, then answered, "Good morning." Emma Lou sat down on the bench. She was congeni- congeniality, congeniality itself. "Are you a new student?" she inquired of the astonished Alma, who wasn't used to this sort of thing. "No, I'm a soph." Then, realizing she was expected to say more, "You're new, aren't you?" "Oh, yes," replied Emmalou, but her voice was buoyant and glad. "This will be my first year. Do you think you will like it?" "I'm just crazy about it already, you know." She advanced confidently. I'm never going I've never gone to school with any colored people before." "No? No. I am just dying to get acquainted with the colored students." "Oh, My name is Emmylou Morgan, and mine is Alma Martin. They both laughed, and there was a moment of silence. Alma looked at her wristwatch, then got up from the bench. I'm glad to have met you. I've got this. I've got to see my advisor at 10:30. Goodbye. And she moved away gracefully. Emmylou was having difficulty in keeping from clapping her hands. At least she made some headway. She had met a second year student, one who, from all her appearances, was in the know, and who, as they met from time to time, would see that she met others. In short time, Emma Lou felt that she would be in the world of things collegiate. She must write to her uncle Joe immediately and let him know how well things were going. He had been right. This was the place for her to be. There had been no one in Boise worth considering. Here she was coming into contact with really superior people, intelligent, genteel, college bred. All trying to advance themselves in their race, unconscious of interracial schisms caused by difference in skin color. She mustn't stop upon meeting one person. She must find others. What? Sorry. So once more, she began her quest and almost immediately met Vern and Helen strolling down one of the campus paths. She remembered Vern as the girl who had smiled at her. She observed her more closely and admired her pleasant dark brown face, made doubly attractive by two evenly placed dimples and a pair of large, heavily lidded, pitch black eyes. Emma Lou thought her to be much more attractive than the anemic looking yellow girl with whom she was strolling. There was something about this second girl which made Emma Lou feel that she was not easy to approach. Good morning, Emma Lou had evolved a formula. Good morning, the two girls spoke in unison. Helen was about to walk on, but Vern stopped. New student? She asked. Yes, I am. So am I. I'm Vern Davis. I'm Emmylou Morgan. And this is Helen Wheaton. Nice to meet you, Miss Morgan. And I'm pleased to meet you too, both of you, gushed Emmylou. You see, I'm from Boise, Idaho, and all through high school I was the only colored student. Is that so? Helen inquired listlessly. Then turning to Vern, said, better come on, Vern, if you're going to drive us out of the branch. All right. We've got to run along now. We'll see you again, Miss Morgan. Goodbye. Goodbye, said Emma Lou, and stood watching them as they went on their way. Yes, college life was going to be the thing to bring her out, and the turning point of her life. She would show the people back in Boise that she did not have to be a no gooder, as they claimed her father had been, just because she was black. She would show all of them that a dark skinned girl could go as far in life as a fair skinned one, and that she could have much opportunity as much happiness. What did the color of one's skin have to do with one's mentality or native ability? Nothing whatsoever. If a black boy could get along in the world, so could a black girl, and it would take care Emmylou Morgan to prove it. With that, she set out to make still more acquaintances. 2 weeks of school had left Emma Lou's mind in a chaotic state. She was unable to draw any coherent conclusions from the jumble of new things she had experienced. In addition to her own social striving, there had been the academic routine to which she had to adapt herself. She had found it all bewildering and overpowering. The university was a huge business proposition, and everyone in it had jobs to perform. Its bigness awed her. Its blatant reality shocked her. There was nothing romantic about going to college. It was indeed a serious business. Once went there with One went there with a purpose, and had several other purposes inculcated into one after school began. This getting an education was stern. This getting an education was stern and serious, regulated and systemized, dull and unemotional. Besides being disappointed at the drabness and the lack of romance in college routine, Emma Lou was also depressed by her inability to make much headway in matter of becoming intimately associated with the colored campus mates. They were all polite enough. They all acknowledged their introductions to her and would speak whenever they passed her, but seldom did any of them stop for a chat. And when she joined the various groups which gathered on the campus between classes, she always felt excluded out of things because she found herself unable to participate in general conversation. They talked of things which she knew nothing of, parties and dances, and of people she did not know. They seemed to live a life of the campus to which she was not privy, and into which they did not seem particularly anxious to introduce her. And okay, this will be a short break from it. I'll be starting the part 3 very soon. All right, take care.